Hello, my name is Max Tobias. I'm one of the co-founders here at the Dusty Knuckle bakery. We are a London bakery and cafe, then also a training organisation for young people who are facing structural barriers to gain a meaningful work. And we just feel like our organisation, being a kind of busy, wild, wonderful place with an extremely high demand for labour, 7 days a week, it's crazy for us not to capitalise on that environment as a place where people have to learn how to work together. And through that process, really they just experience what it is to have a functional role in a positive peer group, what it's like to be liked, what it's like to help others, what it's like to collaborate collectively in pursuit of a common goal, what it's like to feed other people. And we find really that's the sort of magic ingredient with what we do. Last year, 2022, I think it was 66% of our trainees ended up either in kind of work training or volunteering elsewhere. So we kind of take that as one of our key metrics to success. And if you consider that about 4/5 of our trainees came to us directly from custody, and you compare that to the national average for young people coming out of prison and how many of them are in work or training kind of 6 months afterwards, is pretty depressingly low. And touch wood, last year we were pretty successful with that, and hope to continue that, and have continued that this year. And we were also overjoyed this year to incorporate a whole new organisation. So we now have a community interest company, which is sits alongside the Dusty Knuckle, and which the Dusty Knuckle bakery is funding, which exists really to deepen our impact and widen it and secure it for the longer term. So we're trying to use that opportunity now to build a bigger support network behind that side of our work. Like, social enterprise is a whole kind of industry, a whole sector, and they come in all shapes and sizes, and there's many different ways that you can go about structuring an impact-driven organisation. We knew from the start that we wanted it to be largely business governed, profit for purpose, if you like, is kind of how I see it financially. Mainly because that just felt like the most safe and sensible way to start moving into the future. Also, given that we're trying to promote a message for young people that they can be enterprising, they can become financially self-sustaining, they can have a positive future, they can learn skills, it just seemed to me that having a buzzing, entrepreneurial, exciting, busy commercial business environment in which they could partake would be a much more profound kind of way of displaying those values and putting our money where our mouth is, really. The CIC enables us to put into place support structures kind of beyond just what happens on shift and at the dough table and in the kitchens. So, it's difficult for any business to exist in food at the moment, but if you start to tell that business they also have to kind of become experts in the field of adult education and the housing system and the universal credit system and the probation system and the school system and all of it, it starts to feel quite a lot for a bakery to deliver, acting in isolation. It also has to worry about customers and flours and hydrating the doughs properly and all the rest of it. So having the CIC, I think, is gonna help us to kind of ensure that each side of what we do is adequately resourced for what it does. Dusty Knuckle is not intended to be a long-term employer of young people who have come from hardship. What we are is an incubation period, a stepping stone between a past that for many different reasons we're trying to kind of make progress away from towards a more positive and healthy feeling future. But that long-term future is obviously is something that we have got limited control over. So our kind of modus operandi is really get them as best set and best well prepared as possible, and crucially to look after the next step in the chain, which is what happens to them after they leave here. So what we're looking for strategically are employment and training partners that would be interested in taking trainees from Dusty Knuckle and to work with us on what needs to be put in place in order to ensure that the positive journey that starts at DK continues out in the real world. So we're looking for organisations from all different sectors who are interested in partaking in that and developing that next step of the pathway with us.